welcome back to MotoFlamingo by people of the world. Today is our day one for Daytona 2025. It is my first time, it's Ivan's first time. As you guys can see, we have Black Widow here, our 24 Tri-Glide, and we have Pandora, our 2019 Street Bob. Like I said in the previous video, stick around, a lot of stuff is happening to these bikes. I'm gonna do an update list on the mods on this bike coming up soon when we're done with the Daytona videos. We have yet again even new bars on this bike. Today is a brisk morning. It's day 2 of Daytona Bike Week, Saturday. Today we are heading our first stop to Stunts of Speed in New Smyrna Speedway. It's a little bit cold. It's a cloudy day, at least for now. It's 56 degrees outside. That's why you guys see me with a little hoodie. And we're gonna get on the road here. Let's get the bikes outside. Let's go, let's get these bikes fired up and hit the road so we can make it to the Speedway. So started our trip to the Stunts of Speed event for Daytona Bike Week 2025 at the New Smyrna Speedway. It was another chilly morning here in Central Florida. 56 degrees as I mentioned before, a little cloudy, a little windy, but the sun did come out later in the day and it did warm up quite a bit. This being the week of Bike Week, we crossed paths with a lot of bikes in our direction and in the opposite direction on our way to New Smyrna. As you guys know, during Daytona Bike Week, there's just bikes from all over the country, all over this area here. We finally made it to the track early. Gates were opening at 9:30, so we got there way ahead of time. We did have the VIP tickets, so we were trying to figure out where to go to get them. This right here is the front gate where you guys go get your tickets. This VIP area and the rest of the track outside got filled with bikes and cars as the day went by, as you guys will see later in the video. If you guys are in any way, shape or form acquainted with the motorcycle world, you guys already know what bike this is, what brand this is, Indian Larry. I'm not sure if this is one of the bikes that he made or made by the guys in his shop. If you guys know that, please comment in the comment section below and let me know and let the other viewers know. This shovel head here was amazing too to see. There's so many old bikes here that are restored and that are running, let alone the ones that are actually racing on this track during the event. It is just like a step back in time. At times during this event, you really feel like you're back in time. This here was the briefing right before the event was kicked off. Billy Lane was on stage. You can see Detroit Randy there in the crowd. I highly suggest getting the VIP tickets when you guys come to this event because you will have access to the pits here where all the teams are and you run into a lot of these legends. Here we have Randy Detroit Hayward on Instagram under Detroit Antique Motorcycles. He's a wealth of knowledge on the history of a lot of these antique motorcycles.
I'm on YouTube. Hey, I'm on Instagram. No, okay.
Our pleasure to meet Mr. Detroit right here in person, guys.
The pleasure's mine. Thank you. Yeah, you sound like me. Let me jump on the bike before I that was, I think, a 47. I got so many. All right, here, jump on in this picture with us.
Bike people of the world, if you guys are into motorcycles, if you ride motorcycles, specifically Harley Davidson, These fully restored antiques are just breathtaking in person, guys. Here I ran into Throttle Blip 9854, a sick YouTube channel on Harleys. Check his channel out. And here I ran into the one and only Billy Lane himself. I've been watching the biker build-up videos since the early 2000s in the Discovery Channel. It's so amazing to meet these legends in the industry in person. And so they kicked off the day with a stunt show. We had a bunch of dynas here just ripping, doing burnouts, doing wheelies. The crowd was loving it. Billy Lane himself was on the front row there, taking videos and having a blast. It was so much fun to watch in person. If you'll watch motorcycle videos on YouTube like I do, specifically Harley, you probably also watch a lot of Harley stunning and Harley racing, etc, etc. Let me tell you, on videos and in person is two different things. These bikes in person sound amazing. You have all the smells, all that rubber, all that gas. It is a completely different experience. If you guys have never seen a stunt show in person, you have to make it out to one of these events. Again, Sounds of Speed is hosted at this track, and I believe they do it in other states too. Every year, go to their website and check this out. Make sure you make it to these events during Daytona Bike Week. And here's the thing, during Daytona Bike Week every year, they do have several stunt shows in different locations, from dealers in Orlando to different locations in Daytona. You just gotta go in there, check it out, know what's coming up, so you guys don't miss it, because then you have to wait a whole other year. So stay tuned and follow these events. You don't want to miss out on this stuff. I would definitely be coming back here and getting the same VIP tickets next year. As you're looking at the general public here in the bleachers, so right behind the bleachers is where you're gonna have all your vendors and food and drinks and stuff like that. The restrooms are back there, so if you're there, you would have seen that on your way in. Now you know if you show up next time. Just like you guys, there's a lot of events that I have not been able to make it to in the past. So if you were not able to make it to this one time, well, guess what? Here's some of it right here. I hope you guys enjoy it. And I hope you enjoy the races when the races start here shortly. And yes, we already had a couple flat tires here by the time the stunt show was over. here was Billy Lane and another driver, a female rider. I did not get to meet her. I did not get to catch her name. If you guys know who she is, please put it down in the comments so that I know and other watchers know who she is. Their old school rat rods were super cool. And so all the old school bikes started to line up for their first exhibition type run. I think they went on a couple exhibition runs to show off their bikes, their builds to the crowd. Then they had some warm-up laps and then the races begun. Now, if you guys don't know what Stunts of Speed is about, it's about all these old school motorcycles. All of these Harley Davidsons from the early 1900s, I think into the 40s. I'm not sure, don't quote me on the year specifically, but most of them are within that era. I believe that back in those days, they raced these bikes with no brakes. If I'm wrong about that, please let me know in the comments. I am not an expert on this matter, but if you guys know, please share that info with us so we know. Here was Detroit Antique Motorcycles. Detroit Randy number 313 himself. He raced with the rest of the crew. Bikers, again, if you are able to make it down to Stunts of Speed next year, I highly recommend the VIP passes. You are right next to these machines. It is absolutely worth it. You have to see it and you'll see what I'm talking about. After the exhibition and warm-up laps, once all the teams were in tune, they kicked it off with the national anthem and then off to the races. And off they went. I gotta tell you, when you see these bikes and those tires that they're running and they're going that fast into those corners, you gotta ask yourself, do you have the skill set? I'm telling you, these guys have been practicing these bikes, I'm sure, for a long time to be able to do that. Guys, I've rode a lot of the canyons in California in sport bikes, modern sport bikes obviously, and if you guys have modern Harley Davidsons that are on the performance type build, you know that you can take some corners and carve them and get some really good speeds and some really good braking going on. But when you see these bikes and how they're built and the size of their tires and etc., taking those corners like that, I mean, that's definitely a different story. I also witnessed something with my own eyes on this day. People like Detroit Randy, Billy Lane, I saw these guys just working endlessly, aside from all the stuff that they had to do on their own stuff, on their own bikes, on their own teams. And I saw these people behind the scenes with complete selfless support for all their teams. I mean, these guys were in the sun pushing bikes, helping them with whatever they needed. It was an amazing thing to see. And here's the parking lot that I showed you guys at the beginning. As you guys can see, it's completely different from when we first came in. We came in early. By the time we left, I mean, this place was packed. You'll see as I ride on the way out here on the dirt road, there's just bikes left and right all over the place, and not just bikes. I mean, a lot of these bikes were full of love, full of money, full of time and dedication. They were amazing bikes, just like everywhere else in Daytona, I guess. And so, believe it or not, this was just the beginning of our day. After we left this event, we made our way out to Destination Daytona. We checked out the vendors and a bunch of the bikes there, and the ambient there was just unique as well. Obviously, if you guys have been there, you already know. As you cross under I-95 here on US 1, you will see the cones and a lot of the signs directing you on the motorcycle only path, guiding you into the different spots for Destination Daytona and parking areas and so on and so forth. I promise you can't miss it. Here we were trying to figure out if we were gonna park here instead of riding our bikes into Destination Daytona, into the resort dealer area, because we figure it's gonna be pretty packed down there and busy. So we decided to just stay on this side of the parking lot and then just walked over to the other side. Like I said, this was just the beginning of our day. Here we went into Destination Daytona. From here, we went into Main Street, and that I will be posting on the next video, along with our stay here in Destination Daytona. If you guys are new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. If you're not, thank you for your continued support, and see you on the next ride.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. They're still rolling. Don't walk away. I want to give a bunch of love. A little overseas 11 here now.
It's a pleasure to meet these people right here. I've been following them for a long time. I was a sailor too, so I'm not shy, man. I'm not shy. One bit.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. Yeah, anything we're doing.
All right.